Physicalism is the notion that absolutely everything is physical in nature. And even though some things seem to be less physical than others when seen from our perspective, the truth remains that even these intangible to us aspects of reality are still physical in nature. The obviously physical aspects of reality, with all of their tangible to us properties, are undeniably physical, so they won't be the topic of this video. What I want to focus on is to try and explain that even the so-called metaphysical aspects of reality are still made out of actual physical building blocks. Some of the aspects I'm referring to are our souls, our dreams, our thoughts, and our memories. I want to point out the fact that physicalism is a fact of reality. I've repeatedly told you that our souls and the souls of all creatures are physical in nature, and even though they are intangible to us and therefore much less physical than the physicality of other everyday objects, they are made out of building blocks that are physical nonetheless. There is even a known weight to the human soul, which is around 21 grams. But even the building blocks from which our souls are made are way too physical when compared to the physicality of the building blocks from which our dreams, thoughts, and memories are made. There is actual evidence that our thoughts as well as our dreams and memories are built from building blocks that are even smaller than the building blocks from which our souls are made. The many cases of out-of-body experiences clearly show that people remember the event, and therefore the soul has the ability to contain our memories. It means that the soul has the ability to act as a storage device for our memories. The cases of reincarnation in which people have detailed memories about previous lives also point out that memories can be stored within the soul. Even our dreams, memories, and thoughts are made out of actual physical building blocks. Even though there are people who consider them as being temporary, we can somehow recall many of them even after decades, and that can only be explained if their building blocks were also physical in nature and stored within us. One of the arguments against the notion of physicalism is that within a vacuum environment there are no physical substances present. So, according to the mainstream narrative, a vacuum environment is free of matter. However, these ridiculous notions can be easily debunked. Creating a so-called perfect vacuum requires powerful suction machines. And what if we build a machine that is 10 times as powerful as the machine that created the so-called perfect vacuum? What would be there to be sucked out of if the perfect vacuum was already free of matter? How can you suck out something that wasn't there in the first place? If nothing is present within a perfect vacuum, then there is simply nothing to be sucked out of it. And yet, the newly built powerful suction machine would create a stronger vacuum. My point is that even within a so-called perfect vacuum, there are still plenty of physical substances present. Also, electromagnetic waves, such as light, radio waves, and X-rays, can travel unhindered through vacuum, meaning that vacuum can never be free of physical substances. And above all that, there is even an official statement related to the quantum field theory which says that an absolute vacuum is theoretically impossible to achieve, meaning that matter is and always will be present everywhere. As I've previously mentioned, Everything is a part of the same entity. I'm referring to a source God who divided itself into everything that we see as well as into everything that we don't see with our naked eyes. The source God is known as Brahman in Hinduism, although the Hindus' explanation isn't accurate because they believe that only the souls of all creatures are a part of Brahman. So, even Hinduism lacks an exact explanation about the physicality of reality. The truth is that absolutely everything, whether it's tangible or intangible to us, is a part of a single entity. Brahman is that entity. Brahman is the sum of all building blocks of all matter and energy. Technically, there is no fundamental difference between energy and matter. At its core, Brahman is a self-consuming Ouroboros-like entity. By the process of entropy, it recycles and repurposes the fundamental building blocks of everything. And even when all of this may have a somewhat hopeful sound to it, the fact remains that Brahman is the only survivor of life. Everything else dies. Life itself has the purpose of entertaining the evil Brahman. Brahman's entertainment includes that all creatures are killing each other. Even the Hindus admitted that Brahman divided itself into everything out of boredom. Everything is built out of physical building blocks. Physicalism is a fact of reality. Absolutely everything is a part of Brahman's